show them where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we would only just criticize on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the voice of the people, and that voice of the people is the voice of God. My brother, my sister, this is the voice of the people. And my name, Black Rasta. Now today we have a number of issues to look at. We will not be able to look at everything looking at a time. We will try as much as we can to capture as many as possible. Now the very first one we are looking at today is coming from Ghana Web. And it says SNIT Deputy Director General walks out over promotion of Osafo Mafu Jr. to Director General. SNIT's Deputy Director General walks out over promotion of Osafo Mafu Jr. to Director General, and I read. Now, a Deputy Director General of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, in charge of Finance and Administration, Michael Addo, has reportedly resigned from office. Now, according to a report by Daily Guide News Network, the resignation of Mr. Addo, which comes on the back of the recent dismissal of the Director General of SNIT, Dr. John Oforitinkrine, is informed by the appointment of Kofi Busumpim Osafo Mafu by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as his replacement. Now, the Daily Guide report, cited by Ghana Web, underscores that bad blood existed between Mr. Addo and Busumpim Osafo Mafu, who were both serving as deputy directors under Dr. Tinkrine. Hence, his decision to quit his position following the promotion of the latter to the topmost position at the state-owned company. Now, my brother, my sister, let us look at this thing as quickly as we can. The son of Osafo Mafu, senior minister and advisor to the President of the Republic of Ghana, who over the years has proven to the whole Ghana that he is incompetent and incapable. Now, if his advice was anything good to go by, this country would have been a better one. But my brother, my sister, the president is not doing any better. The nation is not doing any better. And as it stands right now, so many people are looking for change. My brother, my sister, this notwithstanding, a son of Osafo Mafu has been promoted to Director General at the SNIT, Social Security and National Insurance Trust. And for that matter, his deputy, one Mr. Addo, has decided to take the walking orders. In other words, sack himself. In other words, resign. I applaud him. This is a great man. This is a man who follows his words. My brother, my sister, we are tired of hearing people say, oh, I am only the mate, or I was only the mate. I only sat down and followed the whims and caprices of the driver. And for that matter, anything that has gone bad is not applicable to me. After all, I was only the mate. This is an irresponsible way of serving the people. Now you are taking the taxpayers' money, and all you can tell us is that you are the mate. And you have never been anything else but the mate. We didn't pay you to be the mate. We paid you as the taxpayer to work for us. And if you decided to relegate your office to the office of the mate, if we wanted a mate, we would have gone to Ablekuma. We would have gone all the way to Circle. We would have gone all the way, my brother, my sister, to Nima to look for better mates. My brother, my sister, I applaud this gentleman here called Mr. Addo. Mr. Addo has decided that death is better than dishonor. And he has decided to walk away, despite the fact that he's going to lose money, he's going to lose his livelihood, albeit temporarily. I am so full of pride for this man. This was what we were looking for in Baumia. At the time that he realized that he was being relegated to the office of the mate, he should have honorably resigned. But Ghanaian politicians do not have resignation in their dictionary, except when they are forced and pushed out. That is when we hear the word resignation. The Ghanaian politician has no virtues. The Ghanaian politician has no honor. The average Ghanaian politician is a puppet. The average Ghanaian politician hoodwinks the people every now and then. In fact, the average Ghanaian politician is a joke. For Mr. Addo to say that, listen, I am walking out because I do not like the way my boss has been pushed aside. I do not like the way this arrogant guy is being brought in here. By virtue of politics, I have stepped out. I applaud him. This is how the nation should run. We should run the nation looking at the bigger picture. We should not be looking at our stomachs. A lot of people are still in there taking huge salaries. Yet, my brother, my sister, they are doing next to nothing. They are only the driver's mates. How can the nation grow? You taking money and you are not showing anything for the money. Where is the work done? I will be so ashamed if I worked in a company where I only took salary and there was no work shown. I leave it here. Now the next thing I would like to look at is a flashback. And this one is coming from Ghana Word. It says flashback. My GetFund scholarship was to help me serve you better. And this is coming from Adwoa Safo. My brother, my sister, this was published on Sunday, that's yesterday, the 14th of April, 2024. And I read, back in February 2020, a list of government GetFund scholarship beneficiaries put out by the then Auditor General Daniel Yao Domlevo revealed that some politicians and their relatives over the years benefited from the scheme meant for brilliant but needy students in the society. The then Minister of State in charge of public procurement and the MP for Domi Kwabenya, Sarah Adwoa Safo, was amongst the people who were named as beneficiaries of the scheme. She was reported to have been awarded the sum of $17,004 American for tuition and an additional $12,800 American for living allowances for a training program at Harvard Kennedy School. Reacting to the publications, Ms. Safo said that the tone of the said publication was erroneous, and smacks of an attempt to smear my reputation as a member of parliament and minister of state and box me into a self-serving public official. Now, the former deputy majority leader of parliament also indicated that the purpose of receiving the GetFund support was to attend a program at the Harvard Kennedy School to enable me to serve the constituents, parliament, and nation better, and urge the public to disregard the said publication and treat it with the contempt it deserves. Now, my brother, that was the tip of the iceberg. Today we have rich people, medical doctors, my brother, my sister, in private practice, earning so much money with offices located in the most opulent parts of Accra, going after poor people's scholarships. We have ministers of state taking that. We have politicians taking that and drawing in their relatives as well. We have government officials earning huge salaries, taking poor people's money in the name of scholarship. Adwoa Safo should bow down her head in shame. This was what she said in 2020. When she got the scholarship, they gave her 17,000 Ghana cedis plus 12,000 Ghana cedis in all. Almost 30,000 American dollars. I beg your pardon. 30,000 American dollars, not Ghana cedis, to go and study. And here she says shamelessly that, oh, it was supposed to make me a better person to serve you better. What was the purpose of the scholarship? It's simple. It's for poor people who are needy. Are you poor? Are you needy? My brother, my sister, a minister of state in charge of procurement. At the same time, my brother, my sister, she was a parliamentarian. She still went for that money, poor people's money. And a lot of poor people were sent away because they didn't have any member of their families as politicians. Today, my brother, my sister, this greed has gone haywire. Ablakwa just responded to Johnny Hughes's apology, in which he said that he has accepted the apology and acknowledged it. But he wants to put it on record. There is no day he would ever go for a government scholarship. Why? Because those government scholarships are meant for poor but needy students. We live in a country that believes so much in religion, yet spirituality is at its lowest ebb. Now it's all about word, sound, and power. If you are not something and you say you are that thing, spirituality will tell you that you will become that thing, especially if it's a bad thing. If you are not visually impaired and you decide to wear dark glasses and go to Nima and sit at the mosque and lalasu lalayin, begging people, claiming that you are blind, I pray for blindness for you. Money that is supposed to be going to blind people, money that is supposed to be going to visually impaired people, physically challenged people, my brother, you go and usurp it from them. Box the food from out of their mouths, take the food from out of their plates, and you are happy. You say that this is supposed to make you better, to come and serve the people better. What a shame. What was the purpose, and what is still the purpose of the scholarship anyway? It's for poor but needy people. Dirty politicians, dirty-minded hypocrites who call themselves politicians will go after this money, claiming to be serving the people, yet they are rather looting from the people. I leave it here. Now the next thing I would like to look at, and is very, very much important, is this thing here that I need all of us to open our ears and listen with rapt attention. Oh my God. Some of these stories break my heart so much, my brother. But I need you to come along. Let's look at it together and see if the nation is moving forward or is going backward. This one I'm reading from treenews.com. And it says, targeting businesses of political opponents is a major problem in Africa. Mahama at Afro Heritage Conference in Lagos. And I read, former President John Dramani Mahama is worried about the attitude of African governments targeting businesses owned by their political opponents. Mr. Mahama stated that part of the problem is not having more rich African businessmen. Is that governments tend to target businesses created by their political opponents. I take that paragraph again. Mr. Mahama stated that part of the problem for not having more rich people and rich businessmen in Africa is that governments tend to target businesses created by their political opponents. And to that end, he has urged the African governments not to act in ways that destroy businesses. I leave it here. My brother, come along. Let us look at this. My brother, what former President Mahama said is nothing but the truth. You know that, right? In Africa, and you can look at Ghana for that matter, anytime there is a new government, it's an opportunity to target businesses owned by political opponents. If you are not a card-bearing member of my political party, it's time to pay you in your own coin. It's time to show you where power lies. It's time to show you that we are in power. It's time to make you regret for not being part of our political movement. My brother, my sister, we have seen this happen to so many different people. We see this business thriving so much. And when there is a change in regime, people become paupers. I can mention 1 million people right now. Look at the business of Nam1. It was doing quite well in the days of President Mahama. All of a sudden, there was a regime change. And bam, Nam1 came down to zero. Now Mahama himself is going around saying, hey, if I come into power, I will deal with Nam1. And I'm like, but Nam1 was a man who was thriving when you were president. Why didn't you deal with Nam1? Now that Nam1 has been targeted by a new regime, you are also targeting the same Nam1. Nam1, in that case, should have been doing something at the blind side of your government then, right? Now we can all see Amoabing. Amoabing has become a pauper in just a matter of moments. So many businesses have gone down the line. Banks have gone down the line. Seydou Agongo's business has gone down the line. But can we blame everything on the new regime? Let us also look at the regimes in which some of these businesses thrive. They are inordinately, most of the time, pushed by the regime because they are members of their regime. Should I say it again? Some of these businesses that thrive in regimes, they are politically enhanced. Some of them do not even deserve some of the monies that they take. Some of the push that they get, my brother, my sister. But at the end of the day, when they are pushed, they move higher and higher, sometimes even illegally. So when a new regime comes, it does not necessarily witch hunt them, but it looks into the books and realizes that, oh no, something bad went on here. We got to deal with it. We have to look at it on both sides. It's not always that there is a witch hunt. I know businesses that thrived in the last regime and are still thriving in this regime. Why have they not been targeted? Because they have risen above reproach. This is what every business should look at. This is what every business should look at. Any political enhancement you are getting, you must make sure that it is very legal and deserving. If it is not legal and it's not deserving, and another regime comes on and decides to pick you up and you call that witch hunting, then we have a problem. Now to President Mahama, with all respect, we are not just looking for rich African businessmen. We are looking for rich business African men who earned it. Deservingly rich African businessmen. Not just rich men who got ill-gotten wealth. I leave it here. Now, another thing that Mahama said in Lagos, he's advocating a visa-free regime across Africa. The day we achieve this, that is going to be the beginning of Africa becoming the capital of the world. My brother, if African people are able to travel visa-free to any part of Africa, and if all African countries acknowledge that they are Africans, and that these North African brethren of ours stop calling themselves Europeans and call themselves Africans, or else please relocate to Europe, we will gladly give you that chance, so that, my brother, Africa can stand on its feet again. We will have a problem. When you go to Europe, one European nation can move all over, except England, that decided to be a stepchild. My brother, my sister, we are looking forward to this, and I think it's most important. I won't go too much into it. Now, there's something here that is quite dicey, but I really want to look at it. And I need you to come along. I'm going to spend just 5 minutes on this or less. And I'm reading this from Ghana Web. It says, you are insulting Stonebwoy's late mom while you can't even feed your living mom. And this is Asha Modi talking to Shatta Wale. I take it again. You are insulting Stonebwoy's late mom while you can't even feed your living mom. Aisha Modi asks Shatta Wale, and I read, Aisha Modi has rebuked Shatta Wale for his recent verbal attacks on Stonebwoy. Shatta has since incurred the wrath of netizens after he hurled insults at Stonebwoy on stage and roped in the Beam Nation boss's late mother. This follows reports that Stonebwoy pulled out of the Abeka Salah Fest after realizing that his rival Shatta was also billed for the same event. According to reports, Stonebwoy wasn't willing to share the same stage with Shatta, and the latter, who considers it an insult, has since been venting and ranting on social media. However, joining the list of netizens who condemned Shatta's choice of words and outbursts, Aisha Modi queried him, you want to share the same stage with a BET winner and a Grammy nominee? You're mad? Aisha also criticized Shatta's attacks on Stonebwoy's late mother. And he went ahead to say, Kwasia boy insulting someone's dead mother whilst you can't even feed your or take care of your living mother. You just keep fooling and bring yourself. Why? I leave it here. Those words are not my words. They are the words of Aisha Modi. Now, I also saw the rants, and I saw Shatta Wale, in his usual rant mood, hailing insults left, right, and center. What do I think? My brother, Shatta Wale's beef is that Stonebwoy was billed to perform at the Salah Fest at Abeka. And on the last day of the event, or on the day, the D-Day of the event, Shatta Wale was also confirmed, and his photo was also put out as one of the performers. And then Stonebwoy decided to pull out. My brother, my sister, this he considered an insult, and he considered as a sabotage. Let's look at it. Was it truly a sabotage? Now, we all know that Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale have had their own beefs in the past, and it looks like they are still beefing. According to my very good brethren, Sammy Flex, the IGP came out and blatantly made it clear that under no circumstances should the two artists, Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy, be billed on the same stage, except that there is very heavy security. If this is anything to go by, may I ask, what was the level of security at Salah Fest? Again, is it a problem if one artist decides that, listen, as long as this other artist is billed anyway, I do not want to share the same stage with that artist. Is it a problem? For me, it's not a problem. It's not a sabotage. It's just choices. There are some other artists who will say, yo, you know what? If I am built for this show, I do not want Black Rasta to be part of the show. If Black Rasta is part of the show, I will humbly and willingly opt out, because I do not feel good performing with Black Rasta. Or again, I do not see Black Rasta as a quality enough artist for me to share the same stage with. These are opinions. If anything at all, if I'm going to take the artist on, I will not take it along the lines of sabotage. My brother, my sister, Stonebwoy is a big artist. Shatta Wale is a big artist. It's not like in the days, according to Shatta Wale, when Samini was the biggest artist, and anytime he said he will not perform with any other artist, then that artist will suffer. After all, he was the person the promoters were all running after. And if he blacklisted you, it meant that you were doomed. You are both big artists in equal measure. If one artist says, I don't want to play with this artist, especially that it is said behind the doors and behind the curtains, we have to ask the promoters, what was the condition under which Stonebwoy decided to accept to play at Salafest? Maybe he asked them, can I see the list of artists who are playing? And then they provided the list. And he said, okay, I am comfortable, I will play. Then later, if you are adding another artist, contractually, common sense should let us also contact Stonebwoy and say, listen, I remember when we were signing you, you wanted to see the list of artists. We just had one more artist joining us. Are you comfortable? But you don't go ahead to publish the name of the new artist who has been built without conferring with the artists who wanted to be sure which artists were on bill. Again, security is most important. The last time we saw the two of them on the same stage, guns were pulled. My brother, my sister, if Stonebwoy feels that anytime he's on the same stage with Shatta Wale, tensions rise so high and he wants to avoid that and decides to pull out, there shouldn't be a problem. Let alone an instance where somebody's mother is dead and still being insulted in the grave. And some other people will say, oh yes, but Stonebwoy also insulted his mother and blah, 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 blah. Some time ago. Listen, insults are not the way out. Insults are not the way out. When Stonebwoy said that, many were those who condemned that. Even though he didn't mention any names, we could tell who he was referring to. Many people condemned that. Should we continue going to and fro, insulting each other's dead mothers? And I would just like to put this thing out to my very good friend, Sammy Flex. Maybe I should have called him personally because this is my very good brethren. But I think that saying it in public would also help a lot of artist managers. Sammy is somebody who is so experienced when it comes to communication. He is somebody who is strong when it comes to his support. He's been supporting Shatta in the days that people were not ready to support him. You can give it to him. So it's just a blessing that at the same time he has become the manager. But I would like to put this out. Brand is very important. Somebody feels that if I play with this artist, it will demean my brand. It shouldn't be a problem. We have to also help our artists keep a certain brand. If a manager or some managers say, oh, I manage only the music of the artist and not his private life, we understand. But make sure that private life does not affect the brand and the music. If it does affect the brand and the music, then it means that you have failed. Should I say it again? I am saying If you manage an artist as a manager, and you say that you are managing the music of the artist, the career of the artist, and not his personal life, just be careful that the personal life of the artist does not affect the brand, the career, and the music. If you manage an artist who comes in public and gets drunk and falls in gutters, or comes out and goes naked to show his ring ding ding dong to the public, you must know that this is quite private, but it is going to also affect the career. I'm just saying this to all artist managers. Shatta Wale, since me and him decided to smoke the peace pipe and become the best of friends, we have remained like that. I do not want to go back to the days of disagreement, and I will not do that. I respect him as an artist. I respect Stonebwoy as my artist, who calls me father. Shatta Wale also calls me father, and you heard that on stage when he said it. This is my father. I was proud to hear that. When two of my sons are quarreling, Stonebwoy calls me father. Shatta Wale calls me father. When my two sons are fighting, I don't like it. But I do agree, business-wise, that one of my sons might not like to share the stage with the other until the brands become equal. In the sense of everybody has a way they want their brand to go. Me, my brand is radical. The other one says, me, my brand is gentle. The two cannot be on the same stage because they have two different brands. The radical one will like to come on stage half naked. He might like to come on stage smoking in Tampe. He might like to come on stage doing so many different things, my brother. The other one wants a gentle stage where people wear suits and so on and so forth. It's like the seller of shea butter and the seller of salt. They have two different brands, and their prayer will never be accepted at the same time. You know why? The one selling shea butter is praying that the weather should be cold. It should even rain, so that when the weather is cold like that and it drizzles a bit, the shea butter becomes thick and solid and nice. How about the one selling salt? Is praying that it should not rain, the sun should shine very hot, so that the salt can smile and shine. So how can the two prayers be accepted at the same time? Shatta Wale is salt, and maybe Stonebwoy is shea butter. They have two different brands. Think about it. Well, my name Black Rasta, and of course, I want to say thank you so much.